Oh my god. What's up everyone, it's Salisa here. What a round at Declo by the FPO side. The only way to describe it in one sentence is Natalie Ryan domination. What a round by Natalie Ryan. -9 and leading with -15. Emily Beach, well, she climbed the ladder one step and is now tied for second with Valerie Mandigiano. Both shot -5, so they are sitting at -11. And Paige Pierce shot relatively poorly. She shot a double bogey on 6 and a bogey on 16 and 17. And she was really frustrated about her game. Also, Katrina Allen is another one who played beneath his level. But let's talk a little bit more about what happened today. Let's start from Hailey King's Instagram, actually. If you remember yesterday, I was questioning if Hailey King was 100%. And I don't know how many noticed, but today Hailey King actually, well, replied that she isn't actually 100%. My knee has been acting up. If you're at Declo and want to caddy for me, DM me, thanks y'all. So her injury is actually bothering her. And she needed a caddy. Because according to this story, shout out to Jeff for carrying my bag. I definitely wouldn't have finished the round without him. The knee is so bad she couldn't finish the round if she would have carried her own bag. Which is ironic because Hailey King shot relatively good. Like she shot -4 with a busted knee. I think she needs to retire from the competition now from Declo. Just because she's young. If she has a knee problem, she could make things a lot worse. So I think she needs to retire from the competition, even though she managed to pull it off now. But if the knee is hurting so much that she can't carry her own bag, there's no need to risk it. The season is still young. But it's good that we know now that she isn't 100%. That explains the first round. From Hailey King. So let's talk about first, let's attack Katrina Allen and Paige Pierce, who underperformed like hell. Katrina Allen was just like in the first round, like inconsistent. And she continued that on round 2, even though she's at -10, tied 4th with Paige Pierce, but she played under her level. Like she missed easy putts, she yanked drives from the tee. The same thing was with Paige Pierce, but Paige Pierce actually she showed a lot of negative emotions on the field today, and she wasn't happy about her playing. So maybe there's something to it, and I hope those two gets everything together for the final round because they can still win. It's just 5 strokes, and they can make the comeback. If anybody, they can. All right, let's talk a little bit about the number 2 slot. Let's start with Valerie Mandigiano. I think Valerie Mandigiano is one of the best players. I've enjoyed watching Valerie for the whole season so far. Again, she shot a bogey-free round, but she's missing a lot of birdie putts. So you can't really say that she's playing well. She's just not making mistakes, but that doesn't mean you're playing well. Although she's tied for second, so can you argue with that? But you can get so far with playing style like that. Not making mistakes, not taking risks. So I don't know if Valerie Mandigiano is actually like capable of challenging Natalie Ryan at the moment. So that's my take on Valerie. Emily Beach, on the other hand, even though she says on the interview that she will not take unnecessary risks, well, she does take risks. For example, you can see there's an eagle on round 3, so you can't get an eagle without risks. But of course, if you're going for an eagle, you basically are. If you miss, it's probably going to be a birdie, so that's a little bit lower risk than normal. But Emily Beach played really well. She's a real powerhouse from the T2. So Declo actually is built for Emily. And now let's talk about Natalie Ryan, who just murdered the whole round. -9 and leading by 4. Yeah, Natalie did everything I told that if Natalie does, she's gonna lead and probably win. If you remember in my previous video, I said that if Natalie Ryan shoots better from the tee and putts better, she's gonna be in the lead going to the final round. And as you can see, Natalie Ryan is on the lead, and she did barely no mistakes. She actually played a couple of holes safe, which was a big like 200 IQ move. She didn't want to take unnecessary risks because there was like a drop behind the basket and other things. So she was really competitive, and I like the decision making Natalie Ryan did on the course. And I think if she keeps this up, she's gonna probably win Declo. And I have to give a shout out for Owen Skockings for still being in the race. And not many people understand this, but I love Owen Skockings because of her personality, and also because she's just one of the best putters, as you can see here. Like she makes incredible putts, and she does this really often. So it's really fun to watch Owen Skockings, and I hope to see her more in the future. But yeah, this was my second round recap. It was a really good round to watch live, and I can't wait for the final round, which is tomorrow, to see how this ends. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more of this. Also, throwing videos and other stuff coming up. Hit the bell notification button also, so you get notified when I post these things. In the end, there's gonna be interviews from Emily Beach and Natalie Ryan, so remember to check those. Thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next one.
And joining us now is Emily Beach, who's tied for second. Emily, you followed up yesterday's 6-under round with a 5-under today. Talk about the differences in the two rounds now that you have, well, 3 total rounds in at this course.
Yesterday felt a little more clean, but I also didn't capitalize on any of the shorter par 3s. Today I felt like I got a couple of them, but the bogeys kind of held me back. But, yeah.
Well, let's talk about that just a little bit. You really had a few hiccups just in the first few holes.
Yeah.
And then you really cleaned it up in the middle of the round, and then you closed out with a bunch of pars where there's some really difficult challenges. So early round nerves, or was it just a different attack? What was going on out there in the early part?
It was nerves, for sure.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to admit that. Yeah, no, definitely nerves. Just kind of getting my groove, and once we got to hole 3, we were like looking for discs, and I was able to breathe a little bit. I was like, okay, now it's the time, and I just was able to feel a little more confident.
Well, you were playing alongside Paige and Kat, of course, 2 of our best players of all time, yes. 7 world titles between them. What is something, even last night when you were going to bed, what you had to be a little bit nervous, maybe a little anxious. What are some of the thoughts that you had to calm yourself down and get prepped for today?
Just one hole at a time, one shot at a time. That's all that matters. Just in the moment.
I love it. Well, let's speak of one shot. We saw you throw with your right hand on an approach on hole 7, and immediately the booth was wondering, do you have some kind of other athletic background? Are you fully ambidextrous? Where does that come from?
So like 6-7 years ago, I broke my left wrist, and I didn't want to stop competing, so I forced myself to play righty, and I developed kind of a flick. I mainly flicked, and then a little bit of a backhand. I can't putt righty though, it's so bad. You don't want to see that.
Well, your left-handed putting was great. I feel like the only place where maybe you have some room for improvement felt like some of your mid-range approach shots. Mm-hmm. Do you feel the same? Was there anything that was off? Because I feel like you left a few strokes out there in that category.
Yeah, absolutely. I tend to just too many moving parts on my upshots. I've been trying to work on just using my upper body instead of my lower body also, just to avoid all the other moving parts, like I said.
Yeah, trying to minimize
just
things.
Minimize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. So tomorrow you go in to the round with a 4-stroke deficit to Natalie Ryan, who tore it up. She shot 9 under. You'll also be joined by Valerie Mondahano, along with Paige Pierce. So I know you just said one shot at a time, but what does that feel like going into the third and final round? very much in contention at this tournament?
Sure. I mean, I'm happy being in second. Obviously, I have a lot to improve on, and I'm going to do my best to do that tomorrow. I'm probably going to stick to the game plan, not going to get too aggressive, and just it works out how it works out. I don't know.
All right, I love it. Final question then would be, what if you were to get past Natalie Ryan, hold off Paige and Valerie, what would it mean for you to win an Elite Series event here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour?
It would mean the world to me. Oh my gosh. This is my first year on tour, and that would just be a huge kickstart to, I don't know, a really good future, I guess.
All right, we love it. Anything you want to say to all the fans and viewers out there around the world?
Oh my gosh, thank you all for watching. Thank you, my mom and dad, and Whitetail Acres, and Linda, Kyle's mom. Love you guys so much, and I'll do my best for y'all tomorrow.
All right, everyone, that's Emily Beach. She's sitting in second right now, trying to chase down Natalie Ryan. We'll see her tomorrow. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Terry.
All right, we're here with Natalie Ryan. Natalie, 9 under par today. How can you put that into words?
Incredible. I just a little bummed I missed the putt on 18. But other than that, it was an incredible round. I just cruising. Felt very comfortable out there on the course today.
I mean, everything is working. You know, what's it like when the disc is doing exactly what you want it to do, forehand, backhand, putting, other than 18, but for the rest of the time, for sure.
It's surreal because you almost never get that. But just stepping up to the tee and knowing it's going to be perfect out of my hand is just something else.
And you had the forehand, you had the backhand, you threw the roller on the uphill shot up
Yes.
there. Break that down for us a little bit.
So in practice, I couldn't get there with any other shot. So I threw the roller once or twice, just for fun, and it was in the circle. So I just kept trying it, and it kept working. So that's my play.
Is that the key out here? A well-rounded game, having everything working and cooking.
For sure, the elevation makes it tricky, and you need every shot out here to make it work.
Is this your first time playing this event?
Sure is.
So what do you think of the toboggan overall? Just a famed course, a lot of history here.
Honestly, the first couple of rounds I played, I didn't really like it, but it grew on me very quickly, and it's maybe one of my favorite ones on tour now.
6 strokes clear of yesterday. Very comfortable out there today. Does it get any more uncomfortable heading into tomorrow with what looks like a 4-stroke lead?
No, I'm just gonna keep stay calm, do my stuff,
All right, that's Natalie Ryan. She has a 4-stroke lead heading into Sunday here at DGLO. Thank you.